Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the MLB matches that are happening on Wednesday, July 26, 2023. We will be providing our team and total picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. Our Patreon is a way for you to support our channel and help us improve our content. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comments section below. Los Angeles Angels vs Detroit Tigers. I believe the Tigers have a better chance of winning this game at home. The Angels have struggled on the road this season, going 22-26. The Tigers, on the other hand, have won their last two games and have the momentum. Lorenzen has been pitching well in his last few starts, and I expect him to have a quality start. Sandoval has had his struggles, but I still expect him to compete. This could be a close game, but I believe the Tigers will pull away with a win. Assuming the under isn't at 7.5 or lower, I will put my money on the under. These two starters have been solid in their past few starts. Sandoval had an ugly performance against the White Sox at the end of June, but he has given up 3 runs or less in 4 of his last 5 starts. Meanwhile, Lorenzen has surrendered 2 runs or less in 5 of his last 6 starts. Considering all the injuries to the lineup for the Angels and the Tigers scoring the third lowest number of runs in the American League, I feel confident taking the under. The Tigers have scored 21 runs in their last 6 games, an average of 3.5 runs per game to top it off. Our total pick is under. New York Mets vs New York Yankees. The New York Yankees have a better bullpen than the Mets, and their offense has been more productive lately. The Yankees have a 3.21 bullpen ERA, while the Mets have a 4.20 bullpen ERA. The Yankees have also scored 5.25 runs per game in their last 4 games, while the Mets have averaged 3.8 runs per game in their last 5 games. I recommend betting on the New York Yankees to win the final Subway Series game of the regular season. These teams have not been scoring enough throughout the month of July, as the Yankees are scoring 4.16 runs in their 19 July games, while the Mets are averaging 4.35 runs in their 17 July games. The pitching staffs as a whole have been doing well in the last 30 days, as the Mets are 4th with a 3.58 team ERA, while the Yankees are 18th with a 4.58 team ERA in that stretch. All in all, go with under 8.5 runs here. Baltimore Orioles vs Philadelphia Phillies. Kyle Bradish has been much better than Ranger Suarez in July. Bradish has a 1.07 ERA and a .202 opposing batting average, while Suarez has a 6.14 ERA and a .326 batting average against. The Orioles have also been scoring more runs than the Phillies in the past 30 days. The Orioles are averaging 5.04 runs per game, while the Phillies are averaging 4.83 runs per game. I recommend betting on the Baltimore Orioles to win this game on the road. These teams have done well in the later innings of shutting the door, as Baltimore is 7th in MLB with a 3.70 reliever ERA, while Philadelphia is 13th with a 3.83 bullpen ERA so far. These offenses have been very similar since the All-Star break, as they both played 11 games, as the Orioles are scoring 4.45 runs per game, while the Phillies are averaging 4.27 runs per game. Take the under as it seems to be the best play for this game. Atlanta Braves vs Boston Red Sox. Spencer Strider has been very effective on the road, with a 2.94 ERA and a .221 batting average against in 9 road games. Brayan Bello has also been solid at home, with a 3.14 ERA and a .245 opposing batting average in 9 home games. Both teams' offenses have been scoring at a similar pace in recent games, with the Braves averaging 5.7 runs per game and the Red Sox averaging 5.9 runs per game. However, the Braves' bullpen has been much better than the Red Sox bullpen this season. Atlanta's bullpen has a 3.50 ERA, while Boston's bullpen has a 3.78 ERA. Based on these factors, I recommend betting on the Atlanta Braves to win this game on the road. When diving into the last 7 starts for each pitcher, they both have been doing well. Spencer Strider is 5-1 with a 3.77 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP in 43 innings, while Brayan Bello is 4-2 with a 3.22 ERA and a 1.01 WHIP during 44.2 innings. Throughout the month of July, these teams have been pitching well, as the Braves are 10th with a 3.98 team ERA, while the Red Sox are right behind them at 11th with a 4.02 team ERA. All in all, go with the under in this game. Chicago Cubs vs Chicago White Sox. The Cubs will start right-hander Marcus Stroman in the second game of this series. He took the loss against St. Louis last Thursday, allowing 5 runs, 4 earned, on 7 hits and 4 walks. Stroman allowed only 1 run over 6 innings in his previous outing, but he's been struggling overall since the end of June, posting a 6.46 ERA and 1.65 WHIP with a 22-12 KBB across 23.2 innings over his last 5 starts. Lance Lynn keeps alternating between good and bad starts. After he fired a 7-inning gem, he followed it up with a stinker in Minnesota last week. I expect this to be a back-and-forth game with both pitchers struggling to generate any consistency. The Cubs have lost 8 of 10 against the White Sox, and Stroman's struggles will continue Wednesday. Take the White Sox. Lance Lynn will get the game ball for the White Sox on Wednesday, and he has been the subject of trade talks throughout the summer. He has allowed 16 home runs over his last 9 starts, while raising his season ERA to 6.18. Lynn has now been charged with at least 4 runs in 12 of his 20 starts this year and has been a shell of his former self. This will be a high-scoring game with a White Sox win, but Lynn will give up his fair share of runs. The total number has gone over in 9 of 12 for the Cubs and 5 of 7 on the road. The White Sox are giving up the 5th most runs per game at home this year, and one of the primary reasons why they are buried in the American League Central. Take the over. Texas Rangers vs Houston Astros. The Astros are the much hotter team heading into this series finale, winning 6 of 7 games, and if they can win this game, they will pull into a tie for first place in the AL West. The Rangers have lost 4 of 5 games, and Heaney not only struggled in his last start, but tied a season high, giving up 7 runs in his last road start. He has pitched well against the Astros in 2 starts this season, but that will not be the case in this game. Valdez has given up 9 runs in his last 2 starts, but they were on the road, and in his last 6 home starts, has only given up 5 runs. He was solid in his lone start against the Rangers this season and will be decent on the mound in this one. Look for the Astros to get clutch hitting in this game and add that to a decent start from Valdez, and you get a Houston win completing the series sweep. Look for the Astros to win this game by at least 2 runs, so take the run line, minus 1.5 runs plus 110 to get better odds. In the 5 games these teams have met this season, the total has gone over, and that is the pick I am leaning towards in this game. The Astros have totaled 14 runs in the 2 games in this series, and they will be solid at the plate in this game. They will be facing Heaney, who gave up 4 runs in his last start and 7 in his last road start. While he pitched well in a recent start against the Astros, do not look for a repeat performance. Valdez has given up 9 runs in his last 2 starts, and while he has been solid at home in this game, he will give up some runs. However, Heaney and the Texas bullpen will give up more, and that is the main reason the total for this series finale will go over. Take the over 9 runs. Oakland Athletics vs San Francisco Giants. I am confident that the Giants will win this game for a few reasons. First, they are the better team overall and have more to play for. The Athletics are currently in last place in the AL West, while the Giants are still in the playoff hunt. Second, the Giants have a slight edge on the mound, with Alex Wood facing off against Hogan Harris. Wood has a 4.99 ERA, while Harris has a 6.11 ERA. Third, the Giants have been better against the Athletics in recent years. They are 8-2 in their past 10 matchups, and the Athletics are 2-8 in their past 10 games. I believe that the Giants will win this game by more than 1 run. Taking the under in this game for a couple of reasons. Despite it being a pretty average pitching matchup, neither of these teams have proved they are capable of pushing the score over a total as shown by the first game of the series, with the Giants winning 2-1. I think we see these offenses continue to struggle in Game 2 as these teams compete in another low-scoring affair. The Giants have gone under in 5 of their past 7 games, while the Athletics have gone under in 4 of their past 5 games overall as well. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the under for this matchup.